Welcome to another episode of Tom's Kitchen. As you can see, we got plenty of snow out here, so what better moment to prepare a nice warm dish that has these Middle Eastern and this Mediterranean spices to kind of warm you up. So in this episode, I'm going to share with you the recipe of the Lebanese rice with chicken. Obviously, the rice, I will substitute that with rice cauliflower to make it kind of keto friendly. This recipe is great for sharing. I'm pretty sure that your family members will also enjoy it. So without further ado, let's go.
If you're like me, I really enjoy the Middle Eastern and the Mediterranean dishes. I love the combination of all these seasonings and spices. In addition to cinnamon and cloves, there are also several other spices that are going to be key for this particular dish. The first one is known as the Baharat spice blend, also known as the 7 Lebanese spices. And the second one is the sumac. I was able to get these spices online on Amazon. Preparation of the core ingredients for this dish take a little bit of time, but I tell you, it's worth it. For the chicken broth and the chicken, you will need the following: 1 whole chicken, 2 bay leaves, 1 small onion, 1 tablespoon of salt, and 1 tablespoon of whole cloves. For the ground beef, you will need 1 pound of ground beef, 1 small onion, 2 teaspoons of the 7 Lebanese spices, half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, and 1 tablespoon of olive oil. For the roasted nuts, you will need a 1/4 cup of slivered almonds, 1 tablespoon of pine nuts, and 1 tablespoon of olive oil. The boiled chicken, the chicken stock, the ground beef, and the roasted nuts are the core components of this dish. Now, to create 1 serving, you will need the following: 3 ounces of the cooked ground beef, 1 ounce of the cooked chicken, half a cup of the chicken stock, the roasted nuts, 1 cup of rice cauliflower, and 1 tablespoon, I can't believe it's not butter. Okay, let's get down to it. Let's start with the chicken and the chicken stock. Begin by preparing your chicken. Remove the neck and the giblets and pat the chicken dry with a paper towel. I also like to remove any visible skin and fat. Next, I take one of the onions and cut it into quarters, and I take the second onions and cut it into julienne slices. Next, in a large stock pot, place the whole chicken and pour enough water to cover it completely. Season with salt and pepper. When the chicken comes to a boil, skim any fat that rises to the top. Add the onion quarters, the bay leaves, and the cloves. Now cover the pot halfway and let it simmer on medium heat for about an hour until the chicken is completely cooked. Once the hour has passed, remove the cooked chicken and set aside. Once cooled enough to handle, make sure you remove all the meat from the bones and proceed to shred the meat. To prepare 1 serving, you want to set aside half a cup of the chicken stock and about 2 ounces of the chicken. The rest, portion and freeze for future use. Next, we're on to the nuts. Add the olive oil to a pan and preheat it for about 1 to 2 minutes at medium-high. Add the almonds and the pine nuts and cook for about 2 to 3 minutes, constantly mixing until golden brown. Then set aside for later use. Now on to the third and final component, the ground beef. In a deep pan, heat the 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Sauté the small onion cut in julienne slices until translucent. Add the ground beef and cook on medium heat until fully browned. Add the butter substitute, the salt, pepper, the 7 spices, the ground cinnamon, and sauté for a few minutes. When done, separate into 5 portions and keep 1 of them in the pan. Save the remaining portions and freeze them for future use. It is now time to put it all together. In the pan where you have that 1 portion of ground beef, add the rice cauliflower and mix well. Add the half cup of the chicken stock and stir it very well. Cover and simmer on medium-high heat until the stock has been completely absorbed by the rice cauliflower. You may also want to start by briefly warming up the 1 serving of chicken. Now proceed to empty the rice cauliflower and the ground beef mix onto a plate and then sprinkle the chicken and the nuts on top of it. And the main dish is done.
A salad that goes great with this Lebanese rice with chicken is a fattoush salad. Very easy to make. The vegetables are pretty common to find. And for the actual chips, I used a 1-carb tortilla that I baked and then cut it into square pieces, or you can also use a profile pizza crust. So go ahead and check it out. Let's go.
The ingredients for the fattoush salad include a small head of romaine lettuce, 1 small cucumber, 1 small red onion, and 1 small tomato. You're also going to need mint, 2 or 3 limes, salt, pepper, and a half teaspoon of sumac spice. For the chips, I went ahead and I cut up a profile pizza crust and baked it. Cut the letters into 1 by 1 inch pieces. Chop the cucumber and onion and tomato into small 1/4 inch pieces. Finally cut up the mint, and then mix all the vegetables in a salad bowl. For the vinaigrette, squeeze the juice out of the 2 or 3 limes and mix it together with salt and pepper. Then add the vinaigrette over the salad and toss it well. Last, sprinkle the sumac spice over the salad and add the few chips. That's it. Now serve and enjoy.
So what do you think? You're going to give this nice dish a try? I tell you what, it's definitely going to warm me up. So that's it for today, and I'll see you on the next episode. Take care. Bye-bye.